I have a affinity and great love for the Indian community, and many of the Indian community come here through different programs, or they get visas, or they actually eventually become naturalized citizens. They move into these hotels. A lot of individuals from India, especially in the area of Gujarat, they're Gujaratis. They they buy together, they live in, and they manage their own hotel or motel. It's actually a really beautiful family affair. It's so cool. I wish we all did something like that. That's why the Indian community is very close knit and they're very strong in their family ties. They're very healthy. They're the wealthiest ethnic community here in America, and they deserve it. So, anyways, this guy's really sharp. He knows what he's doing.
We should be a little north of $3 million, which means we'll have over $1 million of equity in the project. This is a 7-figure flip. We will make about $1 million total on the project. This unit is a huge bummer. This is a 2-bed unit. We designed this. This used to be part of the old office. Then they converted part of it to a manager suite. The old owner actually used to live in this unit, crazy enough.
It's not that crazy. Many owners live on site. They buy together, they live in, and they manage their own hotel or motel. It's actually a really beautiful family affair. It's so cool. It's not that crazy. It's awesome. I wish we all did something like that. That's why the Indian community is very close knit and they're very strong in their family ties. They're very healthy. They're the wealthiest ethnic community here in America, and they deserve it. They rock. They know how to do things together, work hard, and stay frugal. So kudos. No, I don't think it's crazy that the owner lived there. I think that's totally cultural and exactly how most hotel owners do it even today.
But I'm in bedroom number 2. If you're wondering why there's no flooring, there's damaged walls, and the whole place just kind of looks like garbage. We had a hot water line burst. So not only did we have a brand new kitchen, brand new flooring, we reframed everything, painted. We're on the home stretch. I think we needed to finish the bathroom. That was it. We now have had to rip out the whole wall, restart the kitchen. The appliances are all dead, fried. The ceiling needs to be redone because all that steam came.
Let me talk about the water lines real quick. So he's in Washington. He's in a northern state. I'm sure it gets cold where he's at. I don't know Washington or the Pacific Northwest intimately, but I imagine in the wintertime, you see snow falling from the sky, which I've definitely seen a time or two. It gets cold. This is 32 degrees Fahrenheit and below, which means water lines can burst, which means old buildings like this, which had copper, they probably have a lot of leaks, pinhole leaks, or will have those. So it's not if, it's when it's going to happen. And I will say there's a major debate. Do you open up all the walls and replace all the plumbing with a plastic plumbing known as a commercial PEX, which typically you're going to be using, a 1-inch diameter PEX inside of the units, and it'll lead up to a 2-inch from the main. And sometimes that is variable depending on how the age of the building or where you're located, so on and so forth. And we use reducers. So you have large main water lines that are larger that you have to use a reducer, which a reducer is a connector that connects one end to a large 2-inch pipe and the other end is a little bit smaller. So I only mention this because this is another problem that colder climate buildings struggle with. It's like leaks all the time. Well, yeah, you have leaks all the time because it's copper. And sometimes these are galvanized. Like imagine galvanized pipes, which first of all, galvanized pipes is gross and terrible. And in some jurisdictions are not even allowed anymore. So you have to rip it out and replace it, but you're leaching metal. It's not lead, but you're leaching metal and you taste it and it's gross and it's just not cool. And they rust and they fall apart and they become useless. So in many cases, you're gonna have to just replace all the plumbing. Like that's just how it is. If it's an old building and it's on the last leg, or you're just gonna be repairing it every quarter, repairing more plumbing, more electrical every quarter. Shoot, we didn't even get to electrical.
This ends up being one of the most expensive things to happen to me. It's right at that threshold where you don't really want to do the insurance claim. It's usually better to write the check than to get your insurance all jacked. Thanks a lot, Washington State. But right now, this is what we have. So this is back to the drawing board. We're going to do one of my favorite projects a second time.
So insurance is very expensive. Insurance is expensive in Washington for obvious reasons. It's also expensive in northern Arizona where there's lots of trees, and that's gonna be a problem too. Over $2 to $3 million remediation plans on radon, asbestos, and all sorts of environmental hazards, and it destroys the deal. Like, the deal's dead, and insurance ain't gonna cover, any of the damages or losses. Why should they? Like, there's things that in your feasibility and in your due diligence, you have to figure out before you buy the deal. Great job, Christian. That was an awesome walkthrough. That was an awesome plan, an awesome video. Looks like a great project. I don't think I ever heard how many units it was. I could be wrong. If you heard it, let me know. Um, I don't I I didn't hear any mention of how many units that was. So it's hard to kind of do all the numbers. I'm not sure what the cost per key was, but $300,000 for that place, I mean, it looked like there was a lot of units, and a roof alone is very expensive, man. And it looked like there was multiple buildings and/or maybe buildings that are connected by a roof line. That seemed really cheap, like really cheap. But it didn't look like he did everything either. So it looked like he maintained a lot of units in the same way. Now, I actually think he said 15 out of 30. There may have only been 30 units. So maybe that was the number. I need to relook at it. But guys, what I want you to know about this is your hotel conversion can be a lot like Christian's because he meticulously and carefully and cautiously took the right steps and measures to perform a feasibility study before he bought the building. And that's really important. If you are in need of working with a seasoned professional in the adaptive reuse space, that's me, I can help you. I can help you avoid the pitfalls. You can work with me, and I can make sure that you either A, buy it with care, renegotiate, retrade on the price, find all the hairy aspects that they were trying to hide from you, or help you make an informed decision to walk away. Because I've walked away from many deals that just weren't deals, even though many partners, shareholders, and other people say, oh, this is a deal. We should do it. No, it's not a deal. This is going to be a nightmare and a headache, and it's going to be something we regret if we buy it. Anyways, if that's for you, please reach out to me. And there's a link somewhere over here that allows you to book a meeting with me and we can chat. Guys, I want to thank you for joining me today. Hotel Conversion Insider is my project, and I'm so excited that you're a part of that project. If you want weekly updates as to what I'm up to and what we're talking about in the hotel conversion industry, you know where to click. It should be right down there somewhere. Guys, thanks for joining and have a wonderful and blessed day.